Hello, my name is Bob. Welcome to a short stop on pool. Wow, how is this rack of the week number 15 already? It feels like number 10 was last week. These rack of the weeks are really adding up fast. I'm pretty excited about it. It's becoming quite a resource, and I'm learning a lot from these racks. I'm actually considering putting together a catalog of kind of routine patterns that are seen quite often on the table. That's going to be quite an undertaking, but these racks of the weeks are kind of helping that information to distill in my mind. So if you have any suggestions along those lines, I'm happy to hear them. Leave me a comment in the comment section. This week's rack of the week was captured just last week during a league match where I put together a 90-ball run. This is somewhere in the middle of that run, and it was at a friend's house, and the stereo happened to be playing a commercial at the time. So we get to listen to some actual pool sounds during this week's rack of the week because I don't have to worry about music copyright. So here we go. This rack begins with a shallow angle break shot. If you imagine a line parallel to the rail through the object ball, the cue ball is outside of that line, in other words on the opposite side of the line from the rail. You notice I went and checked where the cue ball is going to contact the rack. I think I'm going to hit that 11 ball full. This is just a stun to center table or to the rail. You can see that the cue ball had right English on that, and I don't know if I put any right English on it or if it simply picked it up because it was struck really hard. This is a typical result from a shallow angle break shot. You don't get a lot of dispersion of the balls. I do have several balls that came apart from the rack, and there aren't any tight clusters, but most of the balls are still in the center of the table, and I have one up table ball. But this is a real good result to begin with. I have 3 shots to choose from to begin my run, the 6, 3, or 12. I hope it's obvious that probably every straight pool player in the world would begin with the 12. But the question is what to do with the balls in the rack area. Do I want to attack them now, or should I wait a couple of shots? And do I want to run into the balls, or do I want to try to find a way to pocket them from where they lie? The only shot that I see to attack those balls with would be if I got a low angle on the 5 ball somehow. And I don't really see an easy way to get to that position soon. And for that reason, I want to go into the balls now. I have an angle to go into the cluster 1 rail off the bottom rail, and I don't need to go into them hard. I'm just trying to rearrange them a little bit. I don't want to lose the cue ball. I'm hoping that the 7 and the 4 are going to act as insurance balls. Just need to rearrange them a little bit and hopefully improve the layout. Okay, that worked out great. I've got an easy shot on the 4 ball. I also have an easy shot on the 15 ball on the side, and if one of those balls in the center of the table went in the bottom right corner pocket such that I could open things up a little bit more, I would definitely choose to shoot the 15. Another option would be to shoot the 4 and then use the 7 ball or the 3 ball to go into that cluster again. But what I notice is that the 15 ball goes in the lower left, and so I can use the 4 and then the 7 to get position on the 15 to open those balls. I don't want to go from the 7 because I'm knocking balls up table and away from the break ball position. But if I can get above the 15, then those balls are going to stay down in the lower part of the rack, and maybe I can do something very controllable to open them up and create a break ball. I had the 13 and the 6 as bail-up balls, but I didn't really think I would need them. Now when shooting this breakout, I don't want to use follow on the cue ball. I don't want my cue ball going down table and getting tied up somehow. I just want to use a stun stroke. Hopefully I'll have the 14 or the 5 or something else. I want to keep the cue ball above those balls. Okay, that worked out great, and you've heard me say this before and you're going to hear me say it again, but at this point the rack is solved. The 5 is the obvious shot, so I go ahead and shoot that. But at this point there's no more real trouble to deal with. It's just the pattern that I want to shoot these balls in. So let's take a closer look. The first step is always identify your potential break balls. I've got 2, the 9 ball and the 11. The 9 is a little bit low and the 11 is a little bit far from the rack. And then you also want to look at your key balls. I don't have any side pocket key balls, but I've got a number of balls that can function as key balls for those break shots. Even the 6 ball could be a key ball since it's on the same side of the table as either of those break shots. That's not my preference. It can be a little tricky landing just right on that. And in fact, I make the decision pretty quickly here to transition to the up table ball rather quickly. As an up table ball, I want to get rid of it. And I decide to shoot the 10 ball and then use the 3 to come straight up table. It looks like I can go right between the 14 and 9 real easily and get on the 6. And the reason why that works is any angle on the 6 makes it easy to get back over to center table for the 13 ball or the 1. So the 13 and the 1 make it real easy to come back down table from that up table ball. And for that reason, I'm choosing to get the 6 ball early and leave as many balls as I can down table to get on my break shot. And as you can see, I came perilously close to hitting the 9 ball. That might not have been in the end of the world. That might have made the 9 ball a better break ball. And I would have had the 8 ball as the next shot, but a little more care would have been prudent there. As it is, no problem, easy to come back to center table. And here I've got the wrong angle on the 13, so I'm going to use the 1 to come back to center table to get on the 13. That will leave just 3 balls in my break ball. Now I've already decided not to shoot the 9 ball as my break shot. It's low and it would be fine. I'm choosing the 11 because I'm playing on a Brunswick, which does not have deep shelves. The pockets aren't huge, but they're not super tight. So I'm comfortable shooting the 11 ball at speed because the Brunswick is going to accept the ball. And the cue ball is easier to control than the 9 ball break shot would be. So in this case, the 9 ball is my key ball to get on the 11. And I can use the 8 to come up table. And I'm using the center spot as a gauge to make sure that I don't come past the shot line for the 9 ball. And now it's a simple matter to stun draw over to the side rail for the 11. You want to contact the rail. You don't want the cue ball against the rail, but you want to go to the rail and off. And that will ensure that you're not against the rail to shoot your break shot. Now the 11 ball break shot is a little bit deceiving to some. You want to use a straight high ball, maybe a little bit of outside English. Now if you were shooting a regular shot, the cue ball would follow forward and you'd never hit the rack. But as hard as I'm going to hit that, the cue ball is going to deflect straight to the side, contact the side of the rack, and then continue forward and stay out of trouble. It's a great break shot. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found that informative and helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Check out my book, A Short Stop on Straight Pool. You can find it at shortstoponpool.com. And stay tuned for next week's Rack of the Week. Thanks.